After voting to confirm his colleague, Senator Jeff Sessions, as Attorney General, the left voiced their displeasure on social media. Senator Scott read some of the tweets, including time-honored words and phrases, quotes like disgrace to black people, Uncle Tom, Scott, House Negro. He concluded by saying he left out all the ones that use the N-word. If the left thinks it's hell now, their classless reaction will have them in a deeper hole, one that there's probably no returning from. Joining me now to discuss, Jillian Melchior and Gina Loudon. Now, I got to tell you, Gina, as I listened to Tim Scott, I got very emotional. I mean, I get that kind of junk, too, all the time. But it's really amazing that the people that say they stand for racial harmony and all that kind of stuff resort to this immediately as a knee-jerk reaction.
Here's the thing, Charles, and I'm so sorry that people like you and Tim Scott have to go through this. It's despicable, really. It's embarrassing, frankly. But here's the good point. If they keep conducting themselves with these embarrassing, violent tactics, they are going to Trump is going to knock down that blue wall more than he did in 2016 and 2018. There will be landslide victories across the country, because who would want to be associated with people that conduct themselves with such complete impropriety?
All right, Jillian, I mean, remember the thing with the Ivanka, her family on the plane? I mean, this is really nuts. This is the kind of thing that the left has always warned us about from the right. You know, beware, because they're going to harm you physically or do these sort of things that are ultimately disrespectful.
Yeah, we've seen bad behavior on both sides, but I think since the election concluded, we've seen the left pick it up. Now, this isn't about the right to free speech. This isn't about the right to assembly, because those are unequivocal rights. This is about tactics. And I think when they're trying to make the principled case against Trump and some of his policies, these tactics do not serve them well. It's convincing the American public that they're insane. I mean, talking to my mom in Wyoming, talking about the Women's March, her seeing some of the signs, seeing the hats that were worn, she was really off-put by the vulgarity of it. And I think that's a pretty common experience. Their message isn't getting across, and this isn't effective.
It's not effective, Gina. And listen, you know, it's not that you know, if they wanted the demise of their party, political parties have crashed and burned in this country before. But I do believe the idea of taking the nation down with them is worrisome.
I think that the division that the Democrats have created at this point is worrisome also, and that's why I hope, Charles, that they will begin to notice what they've done, have a little introspection, and take measures. You know, they want to compare themselves, and this is interesting, to the Tea Party, but there are distinct differences, Charles, between what the Tea Party, who was peaceful and clean, and they did their protests, but it wasn't with violence. It wasn't targeting any individuals or their businesses. There's a distinct difference, and I don't think you can make that comparison. And also, the other thing about the Tea Party is it was the grassroots rising up, in many cases, against the establishment in their own party. We're not seeing that with the Democrats. The establishment is in lockstep with these violent protesters and condoning it, and that doesn't look good for them.
And to Jillian's point, the vulgarity, and to your point, at least at Tea Party rallies, they did clean up after themselves. Ladies, thank you both very much.